All right, we've already started.
We're just trying to figure out what to say first.
Yeah, easy. It's so easy. What's the newest thing that's happened?
I don't know. So many things have happened. I can't keep track of them anymore. Are you talking about that I became a grandmother for the second time?
Really? Yes. I think we've been waiting for this, right? We've been talking about it. That's going to happen. And
yes, on Tuesday, my granddaughter was born.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Her name is Palmer Raleigh, like the bike, like the cigarette, like Sir Walter. Hall. 7 pounds. 7 pounds.
Like the cigarette.
Adorable. Well, that's what everybody used to say. You mean Raleigh like the bike? No, Raleigh like the cigarette? Both.
For those who remember that far back.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the big happening.
Was that a commercial thing?
Yeah.
Is that how that commercial went?
No, I have no idea.
I missed that. Yeah.
I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, so Jimmy and I watched my grandson for 4 days. Wow. I don't know how I raised 5 kids. I really don't. Jimmy doesn't have any kids, and he was just like, okay, how much longer do we have? I'm like, Jim, stop, enjoy this. It's a workout.
Yeah,
it's a workout for him. It's a workout for me too. I mean, it's been a long time.
Well,
I'm just realizing now how much I really enjoy my life and my freedom.
How old is Baylor now?
4 years old.
Yeah, see? It's moving. It's moving, grooving.
Oh, my God, they grow fast.
That's it.
I never noticed this with my own kids. You know, when you're in it, you feel like it's going to go on forever. But when and I see Baylor once a week.
Right.
And he's growing in leaps and bounds.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So that's...
Congratulations. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. And what's been going on with you, Mr. Larry?
Just living the life here. So,
we just finished dinner and Larry told us a hilarious story.
Yeah, tomorrow, before we get to that, tomorrow is the release of my book, actually.
Yay.
It's actually going to be sold on Amazon. And
what is the name of your book?
The Little Book. Once again, I always pull it out of my pocket because it should fit in your pocket.
Because it's so little, it'll fit.
So little that can fit in your pocket, and so that's finally.
So it's on Amazon.
It'll be on Amazon. You can kind of order. You can start to order it. There'll be a link right on my website and all that, so you can just order it right directly. So
all right, now is your website done?
The website should be ready.
Okay,
everything's happening tonight.
All right, what's your website name?
The website should be ready. I have no idea. I got people doing it. I got peoples.
We'll keep you posted.
Stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of people doing things for us.
Yeah, because I'll have my website. I'll have my Facebook and Instagram. All these things that I'm on now.
It's so weird to see things coming up on Facebook from Larry Webb.
Yeah. Yeah, people are shocked they don't even know who it is anymore. So it's like, it can't be Larry because Larry
doesn't do Facebook.
Larry don't do
guess
that.
What? Larry's doing Facebook now.
Yeah. So we had this conversation with an ex-girlfriend of mine who's a really dear friend of mine. And
we didn't have the conversation.
I had
the
conversation. There are 3 people besides a bunch of doctors and stuff like that were in my book.
Yeah.
Who I'd never answered your phone call the other night when you called me back. So 3 of my friends are on there that have been in my life for a long time, and I call them my angels on this acknowledgement part.
Yeah.
So it's the girl that I was with, another friend of mine, and you.
Oh,
my people. So my people.
We're your people.
They're my angels in the corner. So I was hanging out with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and we were just talking about how things are going, stuff like that. And I was like, good, it's a great, beautiful day and stuff like that. And she goes, well, so you haven't been like dating or anything? What's going on with you? And I'm like, well, I'm on dialysis. So I was on home dialysis. Now I'm off of that, and I'm doing dialysis at a center.
Right.
So it's all this thing about waiting for a kidney. So a friend of mine told me, yeah, you should check out the dating sites. I was like, I don't need to check out dating sites. So I take a look at one, and I'm going through, and I was like, oh, that's a very nice looking girl. And every single one says the same thing. Like to travel? or they have pictures of themselves up on top of a mountain. And I'm like, so for a dialysis patient, you have if you're doing it at home and you have a machine that you have to hook up to every single night for 8 hours, minimum 8 hours.
Right.
Well, you're not traveling anywhere because you have to carry boxes and a machine with you. You know, it's not like you're just taking vacations. So all the people that are saying that, you're just like, well, just forget it. Just forget it because you're just not a match.
Right.
So she's like, looking on her cell phone. She goes, hey, there's a dating site for people on dialysis. I was like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. And we were laughing like crazy because you're thinking of, how that works. It's like, what kind of machine you have at home? What side is your port on? Is it on the left or the right? Because I'm on the right.
Yeah.
If you're on the left, then that's good.
All right. Now,
if you're on the same side, what's
the port again?
So the port is where they have a hose that's attached to you.
Okay.
So, for example, mine's on the left. So my machine's on the left.
Gotcha.
So you can't have anyone sleeping on the right, or on the left side because that's where your cord is.
That's where your machine.
And you can't lay over the cord because it'll have this big ringing sound happening.
Right. Oh, okay.
So you have to find someone that has a port on the right.
On the other side. Okay.
Right.
So dating is going to be kind of tricky.
That's it. So instead of like that, that's what you can, And then, of course, on the flip side of that is, so let's say that you're dating and things are going great. One of you gets a kidney. Dating's over. You're out. And so we were just kind of chuckling about that, basically, but nothing to chuckle at, actually. But if you really look at it, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, you got to keep laughing.
There's a dating site for everything.
Oh, my God, yes.
I used to always love, Christian Mingle.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would figure there's nothing wrong with this site because all they're going to do is mingle.
Yes.
The bottom line is after the movie, we're just mingling, so time to go.
That'll be it.
That's it.
That'll be it.
That's it.
Oh, my God.
We're good Christians, and we're just mingling. So nothing else is happening here. There's no long-term relationships or anything. So anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just a thing I haven't gotten into, so we'll see how life goes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So
by the time you get to our age, you've had your share of dating over the years. It's not like
Yeah. Yeah, it's just profiles and all that shit, and no, I can't.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, really. I haven't done. Never.
Oh no, I've done online dating.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the old Match.com thing.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was pretty popular on it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I almost needed a secretary when I first got on.
Wow.
I was the new piece of meat that was on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
And, no, it wasn't nice.
No?
I met some real beauties, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some stories.
Everybody has dating nightmare stories from online dating.
So I've bartended for most of my life, so I hear all the stories. I've seen all the things that happen.
And I'm a hairdresser, so come on.
So we
I've heard stories.
Yeah.
And before that, I did a lot of waitressing, so I've heard stories.
Yeah. You get to know about that, so. It's kind of funny.
Oh, boy.
What else is going on? What's the theme at the shop? What's been going on? What are people thinking about?
The theme at the shop seems to be the Trump lovers versus the Trump haters. There's more Trump right now. There's more Trump haters than Trump lovers.
Yeah,
and they're both equally as passionate. And then people are getting sick of the whole Black Lives Matter thing because they're buying into the whole thing with, the chaos and the damage people are doing, and a lot of people don't realize that. There are people that are actually sent in
Right.
to
To do
create
this
to
stuff.
create the chaos.
Yeah, yeah. And I just happened to watch. I can't think of what his name is, but he's a long time journalist. He's done a lot of sports journalism. He's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And with the whole like basketball basically shutting down for the day and stuff like that, and everybody's like, "Oh, it was really good that they did that," and stuff like that. And he basically came out and said, "Actually, that's a bunch of malarkey." He
Oh,
goes,
really?
"They shut down, and they had no plan. If you don't have a plan, what are you shutting down for?
Exactly.
Because you're like, okay, we shut down.
You're
Now,
gonna make a statement. It's gonna fall on deaf ears, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a waste of time.
and it's like, now what do you do? If you have a plan that you're going to follow through, it's a different thing. They never really had it organized that way
right,
because they just did it on emotion,
right.
which is great.
So now they're just a bunch of angry people just marching in the streets.
well, they're not really marching through. They went back to what they were doing.
Oh, I'm talking
They're-
about the other thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just I'm talking about the basketball players because they're all down in one place playing basketball, basically in one building. So,
Well,
They-
they call that the bubble.
yeah, they're in the bubble.
They're in the-
Exactly.
What exactly is the bubble?
So it's a place that is where they're all kind of quarantined. So they don't have their families with them. They're basically living in
A bubble.
in this one place, and they all play their games and then go back to their. So they're away from their
Wow.
families. So it's a big, it's a big thing to do.
Right,
To do that, there's a lot of money involved, obviously.
right,
But if you have a family that you're supporting, you're going to try and play.
right.
Because that's what your lifestyle's been like. So it's just the whole entire thing of organizing and being like, there's a purpose for why we're going to do this,
Right.
and that's how it's been. But it's always been anything that happens, everybody gets into emotional states and starts acting out
Right.
without having anything behind it to build off of and say, how are we going to get this done?
Right.
And everybody's saying, "Oh, we're let's vote them in and vote them out." And that's how it will be done. And that illusion that
Ain't working.
we live with is just kind of ludicrous if you think about it. But we still want to do it, and you want to get out there and do that, and that's what people are trying to do. It's like, oh, we're going to get someone new and different.
Trying to make sense of the chaos.
Yeah,
which
and it's never different.
it's
Always
impossible.
the same. It's always the same. It's like a thing. Anyone
But
that
this
knows me that I don't play at all. It's
Right.
something that doesn't exist in my world. That whole thing, because it's been kind of humorous since I was a kid,
Right.
and I was in school raising my hand and I was saying, "Can you explain?" Can you explain this whole system again? In which you vote, and your numbers are supposed to count, but they don't count because there's a whole college
Yeah, I don't
of
get.
people that come in. Can someone explain that? And no one's ever explained it. That made any sense. And I was like, okay, I'm out. So, and the funniest thing is, my life has been just fine.
I know.
Without ever having to get the deal with the drama of all that.
Well, like I said, if you don't watch TV, if you don't watch the news,
Yeah.
you think the world is a wonderful place. Well, the world is a wonderful
The
place.
world is a wonderful place.
It really is.
It's just that drama sells, and
Right.
the wonderful stuff doesn't.
Right.
And no one cares that. Oh, like yesterday was an absolutely gorgeous day. It was like if you were outside on the water, people were just
Yeah.
all this drama that you're hearing going on in the world. You saw none of it yesterday.
Exactly.
People were just out enjoying, looking at the water or,
Right. Yeah.
There was this dog that was running in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a dog run in the water like that before.
He was frolicking.
He wasn't like hopping up and down. He was cruising. He was
Yeah.
actually chasing the birds that were on the water.
Yeah.
So they would fly away, and you're like, how is he doing that? And
He's a
everybody was kind of watching it, so it was interesting. But anyway, it was just a gorgeous day, and if you weren't out there,
Oh, I was.
you missed it. Oh yeah,
I was out there.
I'm sure. Well, I know you were. I know you were out there. I have any doubt about that.
I'm a gardener extraordinaire.
Gardener extraordinaire.
Love being out in the garden.
Yeah.
Me and my little clippers.
Yeah. Well, I had mentioned, I think I had mentioned in one of the earlier podcasts that my office used to be in the back of Jane's building. So she'd have the hairdresser in the front. There was a waiting
Yeah,
a section
waiting
in the
room,
middle,
foyer.
and then in the back room, I had my door closed, and I had clients that would come in and see me.
Right.
Well, the funniest thing was, so Jane's always got something going on in her head where she's gonna do stuff. So my clients would come.
I've got an agenda, Larry.
Yeah, I know. My clients would come one week, they come the next week, and everything, the whole room is different. They're like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Pay no attention to that." Things change. Things change all the time.
That's just like the podcast room too. This has changed too.
Yeah,
But it's getting better and better.
It'll constantly keep
It's
changing.
definitely getting better.
Yeah. So, but it was always funny that every week people would be like, "Did you change something?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like the color of the room or the desk were stripped." I mean, you never know what it was, but
Remember,
you would just see the subtle changes, chairs or something. Yeah,
change is inevitable.
change is
Growth
inevitable.
is optional. I remember that bumper sticker.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah. So that was always kept it interesting for people that, especially sometimes I'd get people from the inner city and they're coming to see your office. They're already freaked out because they're coming to see you at an office, and my office was always nice and always kind of shifting, which was kind of nice.
Yeah. In the
Yeah.
back of an angel joint,
Yep.
which
Yep.
you told me that people were always wondering, like, what does she do in there?
Yeah. What are they doing up front?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing in the back, which is strange enough. What's going on in the front?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
room where I do hair is in the front of the building. I'm right on the main drag, and I have 2 big windows. And, of course, they're all filled with angels. And I remember my mother was just like, people think that you're a gift shop. They don't understand what's going on in there. And I'm like, Mom, the name of the place is On the Wings of Angels. What else am I supposed to put in the window? Am I supposed to stand there cutting hair?
Mhm.
Here I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were nervous about
Yeah.
not all people. I mean,
Curious. People were curious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
without a doubt. But
It's definitely a different kind of place, but I love it. It's not your typical salon, and that's the way I want it to be.
exactly, that's what you always want it to be. I always want people to be not expecting something. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's never have to come in. Like there was a lot of times that I would bring someone if they lived in the inner city, and I would say we're gonna go to my office. I would drive out, and we'd either go out in the middle of the woods, and I would say this is my office, or we go down
really
to
woo.
or we go down to the water,
Yeah,
and we would sit there, and it's like, this is your office? It's like, yeah, big picture window. It's birds, planes, all this stuff is going on. So you
Yeah.
just kind of go with that. But it just changes what they're expecting. When you change what they're expecting, and then you can kind of have a conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's always kind of nice that things are always changing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because one of my statements I've always made is if you're not a person that likes change,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a rough life.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because it's constantly changing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I see it with my clients though. It cracks me up. Like after my salon was shut down for God, what was it, like 10 weeks during this whole pandemic, and they told us we were allowed to open June 1st, I think it was. So I went in there into the salon a week before, and I was like, all right, I gotta thin things out because the name of my salon has Angel in it, so of course I've gotten a lot of angel gifts over the years. So I was definitely being taken over by the angels. So I had to thin the herd. I had to do a little thinning of the herd and, find new homes for some of the things. And it had a whole new vibe to it. And people were coming in. The first time they'd come back, they didn't know. They thought they knew something was different, but they couldn't quite figure it out. And with each week, they've come, oh, you changed that around. Oh, you got rid of that. And then the one thing they're noticing now is that my gate, I have a little dog gate because I bring Rafi to work with me, and I turned the gate around.
Oh, really?
And
So
and
opens
now
to the other side?
it opens on the other side
Oh.
now. So now that they're noticing that, but it's taken a good,
Yeah.
all summer long for them to figure out all the things that I've changed. Keep them on the toes.
Keep them on their toes. That's it.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
What are people saying? Basically, about the world. What's their overall feeling? Are things they think things are going to go back to normal? What we used to call normal?
Well, everybody keeps asking me how long they're going to have to wear these masks. Nobody seems to know. A lot of people are thinking that once we get the vaccine, everything will be back to normal.
What vaccine are we talking about here?
The vaccine for
Are we getting one?
coronavirus.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's what they're working for.
That's what we're hoping, yeah.
Operation Warp Speed or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have a lot of clients that travel. Like, you know me, I love to travel. And I heard the other day that we might not be traveling overseas for 3 to 5 years, which that really bums me out because I'm going to be freaking old by the time I can travel again. Older.
Older.
Like closing in on you-know-what number, Larry. Oh, my God.
Just the number.
I
You
got
know
a
what?
lot of places to see, Larry.
Well, it's just a number.
I know.
And there's a website for the number somewhere.
Tell me about it.
That's it.
So,
You in your 90s? Yeah, don't worry. We have dates for you. So,
but some people are getting a little more lax.
Yeah.
When they first came in, they were just, had the gloves, the glasses, their all their worldly possessions in Ziploc bags, and people are, kind of calming down now. Nobody who's walked into my salon has come down with coronavirus so far, so that's a good thing.
it's good.
And considering that I'm, there's no way that I can social distance,
Right.
so I must be doing something right. I wipe everything down, and I wear my mask and my shield and my gloves, and, we all just do the best we can.
Right.
So that's pretty much what the talk on the street is. It's pretty much politics and what's going to happen, and everyone's like, "Oh, if Trump gets in again, I'm moving to Canada," and then they're like, "Oh, but wait, Canada doesn't want us. Nobody wants us because of coronavirus. So you're stuck here. So make the best of it." So I got a message today, and the message was basically about the chaos on the Earth plane, and how basically it's always going to be like this. We're never going to have peace and harmony on the Earth plane because man chooses to solve problems with war.
It's the craziest thing.
This is kindergarten here. Kindergarten.
It's the craziest thing because and I'm wearing my peace shirt tonight.
I love that shirt.
It's just, there's never been peace.
No.
You know?
The only kind of peace is within.
Yeah, you can't. It's not gonna. Whole universal peace thing, and it's like when you talk about anti-war, people get upset. It's like, oh no, we want war. War is good.
War's good for the economy. That's what I've heard.
War is great for the economy, and it's just strangest thing.
Well, I've gotten quite a few messages saying that we're never going to have peace on the Earth plane. It's just
that.
It's just not going to happen. It's out there, really out there.
It's like if you observe what goes on, and anyone that brings up peace, they look at you like you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, peace? We're not doing peace. We got to find somebody to kill, which I think is the craziest thing in the world. But
I know.
People seem like it doesn't really matter.
Right. But we have to create our peace, and
our little spaces,
in our family, in our relationships, and we can have peace that way.
That way, yeah. It's kind of hard to keep one eye closed when you're not watching what's going on over here, because it's just you know,
I know,
strange.
but it will drive you crazy because you just feel helpless. Like, what can the average person do about, us going to other countries and bombing and this? What can we do about
You can vote.
it?
You can vote and change that.
Okay, Larry.
Not. So,
Yeah.
so once again, we're back to that same subject again.
Yeah.
I don't even mean to get there, but it's just I was talking to someone the other day about Peace Pilgrim.
Oh, I love Peace Pilgrim.
Yeah, because
I would
people.
love to do that, but only in an RV.
Well, the thing about Peace Pilgrim that people don't realize is that before there were like pink ribbons everywhere
Mm-hmm.
for cancer,
Mm-hmm.
there was a little lady walking around with blue ribbons, and she was Peace Pilgrim, and she would walk around.
What was her real name?
I don't remember what her real name was, but that's what they called her, basically.
Right. And she was in like her 50s
Yep.
when she decided that she got rid of all her worldly possessions. I think she had kids too, or at least one kid. She got rid of all her worldly possessions and then decided she had a tunic made,
Mhm.
that said Peace Pilgrim on it.
Yep.
And she walked back and forth across the United States, I don't even know how many times.
Exactly.
And she would never ask for a place to sleep and would never ask for food. But because she had Peace Pilgrim on her shirt, people would ask her, what are you doing? So she'd sit down with them and explain. And before she knew it, she was invited over to, sleep and eat and,
Yep.
and every day she'd get up and start her journey and never knew where she's going to end up and whether she was going to, have food in her stomach. But she
Right.
always did. She always seemed to.
Yep. And what happened basically was, as she started to rise in popularity, and people started getting on that bandwagon,
Mm-hmm.
corporations basically said, "Oh, we can make money off of this."
Mm-hmm.
Change.
Did?
Yeah, they changed the color to pink for cancer awareness.
Oh, okay.
And they started making pink ribbons, and now the NFL wears pink shoes, and the color is pink, and no one knows where it all started.
Right.
And what happened?
I even saw pink ribbons on a pumper, a shit pumper. What do you call those? One place called it the stool bus. It's the honeydew wagon, whatever they call it.
I don't know what that is.
They pump out your septics.
Oh,
They pump out your septic tank. What is
Oh.
that called? Sanitation truck? I don't know.
yeah.
I've even seen pink ribbons on one of those. Big pink ribbon on one.
Well,
local one.
Because the idea was you could make these pink ribbons now with diamonds in them. There was a lot of money involved,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what took over, and she was forgotten about, which I think is,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
So you mentioned Peace Pilgrim. Now they have no idea who she is, but that's where it really started. It didn't start because of
I'm surprised nobody made a movie about her.
maybe we can,
I have a couple of her books
that
other people have written.
Let's get Jimmy on that.
Okay. After your movie and my movie.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
Okay. We got to live a long life, Larry.
me documentary,
we
not
got a lot
not
of
a
stuff
movie.
to do.
So, but that was it was just an interesting thing that had happened, and you watch how things happen and change like that in life, where the origin is and how it shifts.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I think before Peace Pilgrim, we had the Woodstock thing. Wasn't that all about peace and love? That was before Peace Pilgrim, wasn't it? Or during?
That was probably during. I think she was still around.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Yeah. And the Woodstock thing, that was for all of us that are back that far.
Yeah. I don't really remember it.
Yeah. I
We're-
remember it all right.
We're not old enough. You do?
Oh yeah, I wanted to go.
You did?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Hendrix was playing at Woodstock. I was going. In my world.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, "Yeah, it's great. Sure, just take some luggage with you.
You ain't coming back
'Cause you
home.
ain't coming back." That's it. And in my room, of course, there's a classic Jimi Hendrix poster that
Yeah.
was life size.
Yeah.
and he has like the eyeballs on his shirts and the psychedelics, and my mother was like, "Yeah, you're gonna go see him? Oh yeah." Not. It's just not happening. Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah. So those are 2 times I've tried to go see him live was Woodstock,
Yeah.
and the other time was it was on New Year's Eve in New York.
Okay.
That wasn't happening
And
either.
that wasn't happening either.
That wasn't happening either. New Year's Eve, yeah, you're going to New York. You're in high school? Yeah, you're going. You're going to your room after you take out the garbage.
Bye,
So
Larry.
yeah, so that's how that all works back then. So
Craziness.
yeah, it's always craziness.
Ugh.
Like I was saying last week about all the kids coming to the planet, right? And things seem like they're in chaos, but there's always some type of chaos going on.
Well, and then look at my daughter who just had the baby. I mean, we can't go near the baby. We have to have our masks on, and we just have to look from a distance. I mean, my sons, Josh and Kyle, wanted to see the baby, so my daughter was like, "Well, why don't we all meet at Chatfield Hollow State Park? We can go for a walk, and you can see the baby from a distance." So that's what we did on Sunday. We went for a walk,
So you
and
kind of held the baby up,
and we got to
like that,
oogle the baby from a distance.
Huh.
It was her doctor's orders.
Right. Well, yeah.
I don't blame her. I mean, the child hasn't had any vaccines.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah. There was even in the hospital, you can't even see him there.
Right.
Her
husband's
husband's not allowed.
No, he was allowed to come in.
He was allowed to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was allowed.
Yep.
So that was bizarre.
And someone was also pointing out to me that there was a time where you used to look at videos of China. You see people walking around with masks. You'd be like, wow, they all have masks on. It's so strange.
Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, Jimmy and I went to Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
and Thailand, and they were all wearing masks. And I thought they were only wearing the masks because of the pollution, but it could have been because they didn't want to get disease. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure. Crazy to see a bunch of people on those little mopeds all wearing masks.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk chaos? There was chaos.
Yeah. But, now it's just a way of life that we do.
Yeah.
I'm still the person that
Are you washing your hands?
stumbles out of Stop and Shop and rips my mask off because I can't wait to get the air.
I know.
Yeah,
well,
it's
and that's the other thing about those masks. I mean, there are people saying that wearing a mask is dangerous. We're just getting mixed messages. Have you heard that?
I try not to hear any of that.
Oh.
As you know.
Sorry.
I try not to hear much of that at all.
Okay.
I stay in my little bubble, and I'm good.
Well, then I'll tell you what's going on.
I know.
Okay?
People always do. I don't have to worry about that.
Well, now that you're not bartending, you need me to tell you what's going on.
Yeah. So, see, I won on one area. I win, and then people tell me anyway. So,
Oh, well, sorry, Larry.
yeah.
Just tell me to shut up.
Just knock on my door on your way in and just say, have you heard the news? Because I haven't. So,
Okay.
yeah, just in case anything's happening.
It was funny today. I went for a walk with my dog early in the morning, and there was a couple. They were getting their kids ready for to go bike riding through Hammonasset. So we seemed to meet up towards the end, and they were riding behind me, and the son was driving the mother crazy. Asking, what are we going to do next? Where are we going? Kind of like my my middle son Kyle used to do all the time. I mean, I'd put him to bed at night, and he'd be like, "So, what are we doing tomorrow? Can we go here, there, and everywhere?" And this kid was doing the same thing, and the mother was like, "Just be in the moment. Just enjoy what we're doing now, and we'll worry about what we're going to do later on."
Nice.
And she's going by, and I looked at her, and I said, I made that speech many a times to my kids. Just be in the moment.
It's it.
But it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Especially when you can ask the
But
question,
we
are we
might be
there
able,
yet?
but we might be able to do it now that there's so many things that we can't do. So maybe this will force people to be more in the moment, you know? Who knows?
Interesting.
You know?
So I wanted to mention this real quick. So we are actually releasing probably like 4 episodes. Our first 4 episodes are all coming out about the same time.
Right.
Because of the God messages at the end, that people will have questions, probably,
Yes.
or things that they want to bring up about them. So
Right.
you're going to be able to put them on send them to our website.
Our
And,
website is being made now. Hopefully it's almost done.
Yeah.
And, we'll be able to give you contact information and all that stuff. Yeah, we definitely want feedback. Would love to know if you have any guests you would like us to have, because we're getting ready to start having guests.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want you to get too crazy about us. So
Yeah.
got to bring something else in to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my daughter, the one who lives out in Portland, Oregon, Emily, is coming home October 4th.
Write that down.
So we're going to have to do a podcast with Emily. She
Absolutely.
just graduated with her master's degree in holistic nutrition. And she's got some stories to tell. I'd say out of all my kids, she's the most like me. Definitely.
She is so...
Her and Josh. Are the most like me. They're a little woo-woo, we call it.
A little woo-woo.
Well, Emily's a little crunchy. She's out,
She's very crunchy.
Yes, she's very crunchy.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I consider her my adopted daughter.
Yeah.
So
we'll definitely...
Sorry for those who, have issues with that. Sorry, but,
She loves you, Larry.
Yeah, we love each other. She's awesome.
So that'll be good. So we'll do that when she comes home.
Excellent. So, yeah.
And, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I think we have another guest that's from our neighborhoods that's coming soon.
Oh, Jenna.
Jenna, yep.
Yep, we have Jenna. She's passionate about essential oils.
Yep.
Which I got into essential oils probably about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, really? People are going to get excited about essential oils? This little tiny bottle of oil? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I ended up buying almost every essential oil known to man. And I have to say, they are freaking amazing. I mean, just with my leg. I mean, I fell in a hole, and my whole left leg was completely bruised. So I looked up what essential oils to use for bruising.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were like 3 oils. And within 2 weeks, there was no sign of bruising at all. And my leg was, you saw it. I showed you pictures of it. Purple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we got to get essential oils out there. Definitely.
Yeah, essential oils. And she's also into massage.
Mm-hmm.
And she has her own personal story that's awesome.
Right.
Which is so she'll be coming on very soon. So these things will be happening, and you'll be able to once again call in for those also and ask questions about that and get more information.
Right.
As this podcast rolls along.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. We've been trying to make this thing roll along for at least 6 months now.
Technical difficulties is the way to put it. We did. But all that aside.
But look at us now, Larry.
All that aside.
Yes.
Yeah. We're okay.
We're okay. I mean, look at this.
It's beautiful.
Just don't go up too high because you'll see the hole in the ceiling.
Well, I'm still waiting for the night that we have the wall moved. That's going to be exciting.
The wall has already been moved. I set this whole thing up, and then our furnace died. Now our furnace is on the other side of this wall. So Jimmy had to take the whole wall apart. Of course, you can't tell now because he put it back together so nicely. And yes, we had a little hiatus then.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably about a month. Then we had Christmas. So yes, so we've got that. The next thing is going to be fixing the pipes in the ceiling. That's why our ceiling is all exposed. You can't see it now, but it'll be fixed soon.
Well, fortunately, what makes it all really work really well is that Jimmy also has his own podcast,
Yeah.
Behind the Studs. Give them a little plug, and so things can get fixed while we're here. Which he
Exactly.
can just be working around, and you'll see someone hanging from the ceiling. That'll be Jimmy, so it'll be good.
Yeah, well, I heard him in the other room talking on the phone just a little while ago.
Yeah,
But you know
so-
what? It's going to be anything goes.
That's it.
Definitely. And
So-
Jimmy gives us little pep talks before we're going to start, because I'm always concerned about, what are we going to say? And Larry's always like, I don't know what we're going to say, but it's just going to roll. So I'm learning how to do that rolling. Well, I already know how to do the rolling, but
Well, you hesitated when I said to you.
remember, I'm used to talking to the back of somebody's head.
Yeah, I said,
So-
so what's new with you? And you said, pause. And I was like, pause?
True.
Bing.
Bing, and then it hit me.
That's it.
New
Bing,
baby, new baby.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's awesome.
thank you.
That is awesome.
So, before we came down here, we have a little dinner beforehand. Only next time we'll do it after. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, Jimmy gives us a little pep talks before we come down here because I'm, a little nervous about this. But he's just like, just sit there and talk. So that's what I'm doing.
It's good.
I don't know if it's of interest to anybody, but I'm talking. What do you think, Caleb?
Caleb, he's in the background over here
Yes.
watching all this.
He's
to
our
make sure-
cameraman.
Make sure that this happens. So, I happened to read The Message.
You did.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a really interesting one. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit more after the public hears it.
Okay.
It's has to do with alignment, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm big on alignment, that's for sure.
Yes,
So,
you are.
Yeah, so next week we'll tap
Can you
into it into a little bit.
Can you teach me how to stay aligned, Larry? Because
How to stay aligned.
I seem to align and then I go off and then I align, then I go off. That's pretty much.
It's kind of like meditation. When you go off, you just come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without judgment, you just come back. Because you're always going to go off. You'll always wander off. It's like walking a little child down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're walking, they're seeing rocks and sticks that they really want to stop. And you're like, you got to wait for them. You got to pause every time that they...
It's kind of like walking my dog, and
leave-
he's got to lift his
Yeah.
leg on everything.
That's it. Same thing. The dog wants to stop for something. You pause. And then you just go right back to what you were doing.
I
So
usually
it's the same thing.
I usually pause, and then I'm like, "Come on, Rafi.
Yeah.
You can't have anything left. You've lifted your leg on every blade of grass."
That's it. Well,
And then I tug him, and we do go on our way.
you've got to set your ground for where you are and lay out the land that is yours.
Yeah.
So when other dogs come, they know that
Oh, is
you've
that
been
how it
there.
works?
That's how it works. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. It's like Rafi was here. All right. Must be his area. That's it. He was here first. So dogs do that. So
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So maybe we could talk a little about alignment next week.
we can get into that a little bit because alignment has a lot to do with a lot of my work is about alignment. So
Okay.
I found it to be interesting.
All right. So let's remember.
I do find these are really interesting as you listen to them. So this one was in
What you mean? The God message?
the God messages, yeah, which is why we're doing this anyway.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this is fabulous. They all have been, but this one is really on point. So
Good.
Enjoy that.
All righty.
Absolutely.
All right. So
All right.
I guess it's a wrap. So we'll see you next week.
That's it. We have
All
no
right.
babies coming.
No babies coming.
We're good.
And still no way to contact us yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
We'll be here.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Thanks so much
Have a
for
good
joining
week.
us. Absolutely.
Sayonara.
Take care.
Namaste. Bye.
Bye bye.
The date that we received this message was January 31st, 2019. And the message reads like this. I want to talk to you today about alignment with the world of the unseen and how we can easily be accessed and used for spiritual growth at any time and in any place. I want humans to know this so they will use what I am going to teach them and know that you have truly connected with those on the other side, and how to be assured that the information that they receive is pure. First of all, fear is not allowed. It must be put aside. It serves no purpose when trying to connect with us. Fear's only purpose is as a warning system used in life experiences. Fear, when brought to a spiritual encounter, will place an unnecessary fog over the message that is trying to be conveyed by those in spirit. It is their worst enemy. An open mind and heart is all that is necessary to connect to us. The path you have chosen is one of many, and I want it that way. The ways for humans to connect with us is as diverse as humans are on the earth plane. There are no rights or wrongs. I am pleased with every attempt to connect with us. What I don't want is for humans to place value on each method used. None are better than the other. This is the major problem with religion in the world today. It places barriers between humans and creates superiority and keeps those that are different from the mainstream religion at the bottom, while religions like the Catholic Church reign superior over the rest. This is how I want spirituality to become, from a place of oneness. All are accepted and have a great connection to me. I want my relationship with each individual human to be whatever they want it to be. That human's interpretation of me is just that. It is theirs and should not be compared to others as better or less than. My relationship with my children is not a competition of who is more knowledgeable about God. You all are. You all know me. Your souls are me. We are never apart, so there is no need to search for me. I am never apart from you, never. I want to spend the next couple of podcasts working on different ways to connect with us. When I say us, I mean those in spirit, such as your deceased loved ones, and of course, the angels and God. Today I want to start with your angel and God board, Jane. I want to say to those who immediately conjure up fear when they find out how you connect with us because of the reputation that a board similar to this has been portrayed in the movies. I want to set that straight. Any kind of communication with the other side that is done with love and a pure heart will only bring goodness to the human. If a human is actively looking for the opposite, they will find it. It is the law of the universe. Like attracts like. You will find that once you connect with us using this board. It will get easier and more fulfilling each time. I like this board because you can feel us and you can witness, along with another human, the connection between the living and the dead. But it is not the dead that you speak to. It is the essence of who they were. They will not bring with them any negativity that they may have had during their life with you. They are love, only positive messages that can help a human in their life will be what will come through from them. This is not a place for frivolous questions, such as lottery numbers. This is a place to learn about the world you live in, but most of all, to learn about yourself. Patience is of utmost importance. This is a safe place to connect with us. I will talk next time about another way to connect.